$32.5 million. $32.5 million. $32.5 million for a player that can't defend, has provided us absolutely nothing this season, and has single-handedly given us both of our losses. What did I do to deserve this? What did I... you gave me 2019, you just give me your hardest battles now? The Toronto Raptors lose to the Dallas Mavericks 139-129. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this episode of the Raptors Rundown. 2/18. February 18th. February 18th is a lot of things. It's Jaime Jaquez Jr.'s birthday. It's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's birthday. And it's also what Immanuel Quickley has been shooting from three in the Raptors regular season. Yes, we're jumping right into that because there's no need for a recap of the game. You all saw what happened. The Toronto Raptors gave up 139 points because our point of attack defender gets blown by on every single goddamn possession. Let's slow down. I cannot let my rage... I waited a couple of hours to actually record this video because I didn't want to speak emotionally. I wanted to think rationally. But just looking at this score, looking at the box score, looking at the quarter-by-quarter score, it's pissing me off. Before we go in on certain players that very much deserve it, let's give a little bit of a recap for those who weren't able to catch the game today. Immediate thoughts: in the first quarter, we were way too passive early on, but offense, once again, surprisingly, has been the least of our worries. Because with this team, I feel like one thing Darko, I will give him credit on, the rotations that he's been putting in have provided some sort of spark offensively. Last time it was one lineup, this time it was the lineup of Jamal Shed, Grady Dick, RJ Barrett, Scottie Barnes, and Sandro Mamukelashvili. Namely Sandro, who I wanted to very well almost give my player of the game to. He had an incredible game, and he was mainly the guy who brought us back into the game. And he had a 9-0 run personally in the fourth quarter. But yeah, the one thing we did successfully was forcing 8 turnovers in the first quarter. That was all we did, but offensively we didn't really do much with it because we were way too passive early on, as I said. Colin Murray-Boyles, congrats to the rookie on his first ever NBA minutes. He actually had an uncontested layup and he forced an extra pass to Jakob for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I think it's safe to say Colin sort of struggled today. He couldn't really find his mojo defensively. Offensively, we know he's still a work in progress. But honestly, I've seen enough in the Summer League and preseason to believe that it will eventually come to him. This may have been first game nerves. It may have been him nursing the forearm injury. I wouldn't look too much into that. But the man that I will get on today, Jakob once again got into major foul trouble early on, which was insanely frustrating. It forces Darko Rajakovic to put out these lineups that are so utterly focused on making up for that defensive presence or that lack of size in the paint. In fact, because Jakob was struggling with not fouling as a center, we had Ochai Agbaji guarding Anthony Davis. Ochai Agbaji. He is 6'7" on a good day, guarding the 7-footer Anthony Davis. In what world is that going to be a successful matchup for him? Jakob is a lucky guy because the only thing stopping me from going in on him as much as I'm about to go in on a certain point guard on our team is because he was dealing with back spasms in preseason, and I'm holding out that is the only thing that is stopping him right now. The second quarter, I actually only wrote one note for that quarter, and it was lazy rebounding. We did a lot better later on in the game, but especially in that second quarter, we were getting out-rebounded just purely based on effort. I think there was one play where the Dallas Mavericks got 3 or 4 offensive rebounds in a row, and it was insanely frustrating to watch. From that point on, I was actually too frustrated to write any sort of notes, but I sort of had my thoughts collected afterwards. I have sort of general idea about how every single player played. Starting off with the good news, a lot of our players actually had very solid games. Early on, RJ Barrett was our only main source of offense. He was the one who kept us in the game, and he ended with 13 shots, which RJ Barrett, I beg of you, please take a lot more shots in the next game. We need your offense very desperately, especially in the fourth quarter. Ben Ingram was able to get to his spots. He ended with 22 points as well, 6 rebounds and 2 steals. We already mentioned Sandro Mamukelashvili. He ended with 16 points. He was 3 for 3 from the line. He hit a 3 assists. He was incredible. He was awesome off the bench. I think Sandro is one of the most underrated signings in the entire offseason so far. And quite possibly the only bright spot of the game, Scottie Barnes, who I'm going to give the player of the game for the Raptors. I'll probably give one for the Dallas Mavericks because they were the winning team and they probably deserve one more. But Scottie Barnes was so incredible in this game when it came to finding his spot, getting to his shot, setting his feet. He had 3 threes today, and he actually set his feet on every single one of them. He took 5 threes, and they were all shots that I was super happy with him taking, where he set his feet, he shot the ball well, he was relatively open, and I was really happy with him taking those types of threes. The only negative that happened in Scottie Barnes' game today was potentially that one play where he was talking to a ref and Najee Marshall. He took his eyes off Najee Marshall, who went in for a wide open and one. But yeah, incredible game from Scottie Barnes. We're going to need this from him on a couple of nights, and we definitely need it from him tonight, I'll tell you that much. Now, talking about the negatives, because there is a lot of them, I'm going to try to keep my cool reading down the list. Number 1, I was baffled by Darko Rajakovic's rotations. Scottie Barnes comes into the game and has his own little personal 8-0 run to help the Toronto Raptors regain or tie the game. This was in the third quarter. He came in and he went and he helped tie the game. Darko Rajakovic decides to take Scottie Barnes out, and the Dallas Mavericks proceed to go on their own 10-0 run. So a lot of these lineups are really, really confusing me. We're talking about certain people that aren't shooting the ball well, and I saw a lineup with Ochai, Agbaji, Immanuel Quickley, and a bunch of other non-shooters on the floor at the exact same time. Number 2 is Ochai Agbaji, because last year he ended up being one of the only bright spots on the entire team. His shot just looks so much worse this season because he's not just missing in and outs. He's missing front rim, back iron. He's missing bad. And I don't know if it's just me, but his shot looks really different from it did last season. I think he needs to get back in the gym with whoever fixed his shot last season because it's looking like it did when he was with Utah. And third, and most importantly, Immanuel Quickley. We took you in from New York as, you know, the main piece in the OG Anunoby trade. RJ Barrett was in the deal, but that was just a plus, you know. Cool story, Canadian kid. Probably eventually going to be moved just for contract reasons, just for salary reasons. Potentially, he would be a part of a package to bring on another star. But the core was Scottie Barnes, Immanuel Quickley, and now Brandon Ingram. And now, looking at it, I think Immanuel Quickley is the most likely person to get traded from this roster. I was sitting at my podcast studio with Madi, talking about and trying to justify trading Davion Mitchell, because I was like, Jamal Shed, I believe in him. He's young, he's shown a lot of promise. I believe he will be as good and potentially even better than Davion Mitchell. Now looking back, I think both of us were right. I think we should have kept Jamal Shed, but we also potentially should have kept Davion Mitchell, because maybe if we had Davion Mitchell in our starting lineup, he wouldn't take 16 shots. I believe that when we added Brandon Ingram, I have to keep quiet because it's 4 a.m. right now and I have a couple roommates that are asleep. I believe that when we added Brandon Ingram, that this would cause Immanuel Quickley to be more of a catch-and-shoot player. His shot totals would come down, but he would be a much more reliable and much more efficient shooter overall. Not only has that not happened, but his shot selection might have gotten worse. He's taking more shots than RJ Barrett. He's taking as many shots as Brandon Ingram. And people want to hype up his assist numbers, and the same thing with Jakob as well. But I'm going to be completely honest, in this system, any point guard would get these assist numbers. And the main thing above all of it, it's the defense. Immanuel Quickley hasn't always been, you know, the best defender in the world. Hands up, it's not what we expected from him. It's rude and it's harsh to ask him to come in here and all of a sudden switch his game to become this sort of elite defender. That's not what we were expecting of Immanuel Quickley at all. But my brother, I have never seen him get blown by this much in my life. And it's sort of unfair to put all of the blame on him, because I will say our interior defense is equally as bad. Like, I have the stat right here. It says the Dallas Mavericks went 13 for 16 inside the paint in the third quarter. And at that point, they were 27 for 33 on the night. 13 for 16. This is a team that's talked all about being an elite defensive team. They want to have this identity as being a pesky, annoying team on the defensive end. It does not matter if you get steals. It does not matter if you cut off passing lanes. It does not matter if you pick up 90 feet full court, if you just let the other players blow by you every single time. And when your point of attack defense is poor, and your rim protection might be equally as poor, that might be the worst defensive combination possible. I tweeted about this today. Cole Anthony and D'Angelo Russell. Those are two players that should not be winning the Dallas Mavericks their game. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating because this is a team that last season when a game like this would happen, you would just say that they're tanking. Oh, this is a retooling year. This year doesn't matter. We want Cooper Flagg, who absolutely cooked us today, by the way. But this season, you can't just overlook a loss like this. It is embarrassing for us. Like, this is another game where the Toronto Raptors have given up more than 120 points. Against Atlanta, we gave up 118, but against Milwaukee and then against Dallas, we've given up so many points for a team that's supposed to pride themselves on defense. I was fully expecting to start this series for the Raptors Rundown and come on here every single night and talk about, you know what, we looked like we really struggled with our spacing, but that's just a roster construction issue. At least our defensive intensity was always there, and we're priding ourselves on being an incredible defensive team. I had us potentially being a top 5 defensive team this season. A top 5 defensive team that allows another team to go 13 for 16 in the paint in a quarter. It's not good enough. And I mean, I'm looking at this box score and it's so annoying because I'm seeing the least amount of points that they scored was in the first and second quarter, where they scored 32 points each. Then they scored 39 in the third and 36 in the fourth. That is insane. Our offense tried to keep up, but one bad quarter in the third, which wasn't even a bad scoring quarter. We scored 25, but one of those quarters, and we ended up losing the game by 10. And last but not least, ending on a positive note, sort of, I want to see Jakobe Poeltl in the lineup a lot more because I saw a lot from him in the preseason. I saw a lot from him in Summer League. It's at least warrant getting a look now that he's healthy. It's not even a thing about precaution anymore. Colin Murray-Boyles just came out of a forearm injury, and he was the first sub of the night. So I don't know why Darko Rajakovic continues to play guys like Jamison Battle or Ochai Agbaji when he's struggling shooting the ball, when we have Jakobe Poeltl waiting there on the bench getting another DNP because of a coach's decision. That's it for the Raptors. I mean, for Dallas Mavericks, Anthony Davis was incredible tonight. He went 11 for 14 from the field. How couldn't he? The paint was wide open tonight. My player of the game for them, I had to go with Cooper Flagg, actually. He had 22, 4 and 4. He was really good playing alongside Anthony Davis and Derek Lively. I think now you saw some of the flashes of what that could look like from a playmaking standpoint. He was great defensively. He found his shots. He's going to be really good in this league. I wish he was a Toronto Raptor. I really desperately wish. But yeah, 24 points from D'Angelo Russell. Klay Thompson had 10. PJ Washington had 17. I don't think they had a single guy shoot under 50%. Actually, scratch that. D'Angelo Russell went 8 for 18. And Jaden Hardy, he went 0 for 1 in 5 minutes. My bad. I don't want to get my facts wrong. But yeah, really, really annoying game. Preview for the next game. Maybe try not letting them blow by you on every single possession. As for stopping Victor Wembanyama, you can't. So I think the game plan there is to pray, especially with Jakob, who's really been struggling early on in the season. I think best case scenario is us potentially shooting the ball really well next game and trying to force a lot more steals next game, because while we still get steals, I don't think it's to the level that we want to or that we've advertised going into this season. And we need to make sure we close out possessions, which means every single person gets on a man and you clear the glass. I know, once again, I said this in the Milwaukee game, but clearly they didn't listen. You have to complete the possession so that you can actually run out in transition, because if you're running out in transition while Anthony Davis is getting a goddamn rebound and putting it back up, that is useless. In fact, you're wasting some of your energy. But yeah, that's it. Raptors lose. It's really annoying because we're playing some good teams early on, man. We're playing San Antonio, then we're playing Houston. We're gonna have to do an entire tour of some of the top teams in the West. It's so bad. It's really, we're getting tested early, and we're currently failing quite a lot. Thank God for that Atlanta game. Thank God Atlanta's still trying to figure it out like us, but if it wasn't for that, we would be sitting here 0-3, looking at who to blame, and currently, all I have to blame is my starting point guard and my starting center. In fact, I'm already mocking up trades. I already posted a trade today because Immanuel Quickley really annoyed me today. But to Quickley, if you're seeing all the criticism, I'm seeing him block people on Twitter. I saw a tweet about that as well. If you're seeing all the criticism, you know the perfect way to shut it out? Play some great defense next game. Go out there, limit Stephon Castle, limit Dylan Harper, whoever you're guarding. At least limit them and don't look completely lost out there like you have in the past 2 games. Or better yet, even if you look like a below average defender, hit your open threes. Currently, you're aiming to go better than 1 for 8, so it's a really low bar. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your guys' thoughts are on the current state of the Toronto Raptors. Next episode, I hope to do some fan questions, so leave some of your questions or predictions or hot takes in the comments as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next Raptors Rundown. Peace.